Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, we know we are getting late into the legislative session. We're past the seventh inning stretch. We're moving into the eighth inning. The bullpen is getting warm, and we are on the precipice of some really big and some really bad things. Now, we told you that as we began to see more and more tea leaves and begin to read them, we would try to keep you apprised as to when we believe that this bill may actually become law. And things are beginning to get a little bit more clear, particularly through some inside information that we've been able to obtain here at Washington Gun Law. So today I want to spend a few very important minutes, give you guys all an updated timeline. So let's spend a few minutes and talk about, we think we know when Washington's assault weapon ban will pass out of the Senate. Okay, so the issue we are talking about for the 178th time now is House Bill 1240, Washington's seventh attempt at banning assault weapons. But this time, this one really has moxie, really has steam, really appears to become possibly becoming reality. Why are we also so worried about the timeline? Well, for those of you who've been geeking out on this channel now, you know that there is an emergency enactment clause in it, which means as soon as it gets to Governor Inslee's desk and he gets his signature on it, this becomes good law. So for those of you who are stocking up, thinking about stocking up on parts, whatever, maybe have firearms that you've purchased, but the transfer is not complete. Yeah, the enactment date of this legislation becomes huge, doesn't it? So as we begin to understand what's happening down in Olympia, we will try to share with you as much information as we can so you can understand. This is what we know. What we know is that when we take a look at the Senate calendar for this week, as well as for next week, the Senate began voting on bills today, Wednesday, April 5th. Now, if you look at the Senate calendar for the remainder of the session, they have nothing but floor votes scheduled. Now, here's the other thing we need to be aware of. Because House Bill 1240 originated as a House bill, there is a session cutoff. That means it must get out of the Senate by a date certain. That date is April 12th. So therefore, the very latest that House Bill 1240 could be voted on by the Senate is April 12th. However, as we know from this video right here, there's been a little snag. There's been an amendment that's been added to the bill on the Senate, which means the bill now in the Senate is different than the bill that passed out of the House, which means when this bill is passed out of the Senate, it actually has to go back to the House and make it back out of there in the new form before the legislative session expires. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. Is it likely to be done? Yes, it is likely to be done. However, that means that waiting until the session cutoff, not a good idea if you're pushing this legislation, which means you need to find a date sometime before session cutoff, preferably in the wee hours of an evening when nobody's going to be watching on perhaps a holiday weekend. What might that be? Yes, that's right. This Saturday, April 8th, okay? And if you look at the Senate calendar, you can see, oh yeah, they got floor votes scheduled all day on Saturday. Now, if we have ever paid any attention to any other significant piece of gun control legislation ever passed in Washington in the last 5 years, not a single piece of gun control legislation has ever passed before 7 p.m. at night. Most of them have passed well after 9 p.m. at night. Saturday, April 8th, is the perfect opportunity for the Democrats to do this because why? Well, the next day is Sunday, April 9th. It's Easter Sunday. And so there'll be a big flashy headline on the Sunday paper, and that will be the end of that news cycle, okay? Because at that point, the bill is going to go back to the House, where, of course, the House will be ready to accept it, ready to vote it through, and then it's going to get to the governor's desk. So what do we believe? We believe that this bill is going to be put on the floor sometime after 6 p.m. on Saturday, April 8th. It is likely to pass the Senate floor. There is no session on April 9th. That is Easter Sunday. It is then going to go back to the House on April 10th, and it will ricochet around there for a few days. And I am predicting that it will pass again back out of the House somewhere between April 12th to April 14th, right before the legislative session expires. That means if we're looking for the big news cycle, the day where Governor Inslee and Bob Ferguson and every town and Muslims Against and all of the other groups can be there for all the fanfare and the hoopla and everything that's going to go with it, I want you to take a look at Monday, April 17th or Tuesday, April 18th. Those are the dates that I am circling on my calendar right now as to when do I believe that the likely enactment date of House Bill 1240 is going to go into effect. Those are the dates that I am predicting right now. What does it also mean? It means that if we're going to fight this crap, we're going to need to be ready to fight starting the day that Governor Inslee signs this. So I want all of you to pay attention to this video right here. Because, yeah, we're going to have the Second Amendment Foundation hopefully throw in on this. Yeah, we're going to hopefully have the Firearms Policy Coalition throw in on this. Yeah, we're going to hopefully have the Gun Owners of America throw in on this. But we need local representation. We need local lawyers with local expertise that really understand the courts. And the way we're going to do that is through the Silent Majority Foundation. So I encourage all of you to check out that video. Check out the information I got in the description box down below about how you can donate to them, because we want to be able to file for an injunction the very minute that Governor Inslee signs this bill. Listen, once again, our prediction right now is that if everything goes according to plan, it will be on Inslee's desk somewhere around April 17th or 18th for signature. Obviously, if we learn of more information, we will let you know. In the meantime, you guys got any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know the drill by now. But if you don't know how to contact Washington Gun Law, all of that information is right there in the description box. In the meantime, I want all of you to remember that part of being a lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here at Washington Gun Law, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.